The traditional methods to understand animals just weren't working. But we've done it, Mabel. We created a revolutionary technology that gives us unprecedented access to the animal world. We call it hoppers.
Huh? We put this into this.
Yes, this into this. Mabel, be careful!
Robotic, this here will rock your body.
Whoa.
And they were in the same den.
I understand you.
What you doing, lady?
This is incredible!
Pete Docter, Chief Creative Officer at Pixar. It's very nice to speak to you. It's actually, you've been on the show before. We spoke at Christmas 2020 for Soul. And it's nice to have you back. Before we go any further, when you look at Mark there, does Carl Fredricksen in Up spring to mind?
Yes, I love it.
I'd just like to say that this has officially destroyed my life because I spent my whole life trying to look like James Dean. Then I went through a period of looking like Richard Nixon, and now all I get is, oh, Carl from Up. So thanks, Pete.
Well, he was modeled after Spencer Tracy, so you could take that.
Okay. That's a good riposte. Actually, I don't look like Carl. I look like Spencer Tracy.
Right. Pete, we're speaking on an overcast, rainy London day. And you're in London as well. Do you ever, on days like this, do you ever look out of the window and see the rain and think, my, that's really realistic. They've rendered that very well.
You know, as I was animating on Toy Story, which came out 30 years ago, I was working so many hours. I went home one day, I walked home, and I came up to a tree, and I touched it with my hand. To understand this story, computers don't have... everything can just go right through each other. Yeah. And so that I could actually touch the tree was mind-blowing to me because I'd been working so long that I wasn't used to that. So yes, once in a while, reality does melt.
Yeah, so 30 years of Toy Story, 40 years of Pixar. You weren't there, so February the 3rd, 1986, I think, is the actual birthday for Pixar. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, you know, what are you most proud of for the time that you've been there? So this is broad headline stuff, but what do you think you should be most proud of?
Well, I mean, in a way that we're just still around, period, is kind of a miracle. It doesn't happen very often that you have a success, much less 2, much less 3, much less. Now we're on, number 30. We've done 30 films. Hoppers is coming out this March, and it's. Also, just an amazing group of collaborators, people that work together. You know, no one person is the whole package, and that's why you have this group that really needs to synergistically work together, and it's just been amazing. I mean, that's a little bit of a non-answer. Let's see, specifically, what am I most proud of? Up. Let's just say Up.
The Spencer Tracy-like character.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you.
That's there. So can I ask you a question about technology, which I'm going to sort of step into cautiously. In layman's terms, Pete, technology has always been really, really important for what Pixar has done in some incredible innovations to make the movies that we have gone to see. I know about RenderMan. I've read about Menvi. Can you explain what differences those technologies are making and the exciting ones for the future? Obviously, a very broad question, but if you can just explain the kind of technology that you're working with.
Well, I think in very basic terms, people assume animation is drawn, and it was for hundreds, well, dozens of years. What we do is more like building them as little puppets, but in the computer. So it's three-dimensional geometry that then is rendered. RenderMan is the software that makes a surface look reflective or matte or shiny or whatever kind of thing, whatever color you assign and so on, textures. The movement is all done in this software called Marionette, which, again, it's a little bit like stop motion, where it's easier for people to understand if there's a puppet, and I know it's going to be here on frame 37, and 38 is going to be here, 39. Every frame's just a little different, which is, of course, what creates the illusion of movement. And we just have amazing technology people, amazing animators, artists that all work together, all for the same goal of making a good story.
Can I ask you about, in terms of when Pixar first, I mean, I remember very clearly sitting in an early screening of Toy Story, having never, ever seen anything like the digital animation that I was seeing, and feeling almost kind of like there was something hallucinatory about it because you couldn't quite figure out whether it was physical or you couldn't quite figure it out. But back then, the message was, yes, the technology is extraordinary, but the story comes first and the characters come first. And it does appear that throughout the history of Pixar, that has remained the case. Are you still as committed to that story first, characters first, technology serving those two things?
Absolutely. In fact, typically a film that you see from Pixar will take about 5 years to make. And I'd say the first 3, we don't even think about the technology. It's all about the story. And the story just continues to be honed and refined up until the very last frame is finished. It really, I think from that first film on, we recognized, hey, the visuals are spectacular and interesting and engaging for about 30 seconds, and then you get bored. And you want to have some story. You want to have something that you're compelled to believe in, to root for, to yearn for. So it's we think of ourselves primarily as a storytelling company.